Ryomen Sukuna vs Makima. The battle between each realm's devils, the battle between the one who surpassed death and the one who can remove death from herself. But who wins? Sukuna vs Makima. Ryomen Sukuna. Throughout Jujutsu Kaisen, sorcerers are trained and birthed to fight off curses and cursed spirits, with some of these sorcerers honing unimaginable power. Suguru Geto, the sorcerer who while only in high school was able to control and manipulate thousands of curses with his technique, curse manipulation. Following on to his fellow classmate, Satoru Gojo, who with the second awakening unlocked the full power of Limitless and Six Eyes, making him untouchable. Following underneath Gojo, Yuta Okotsu, the second strongest, who within only 3 months of training harnessed the Queen of Curses herself and being blessed with the most powerful technique known to humanity, Copy. But with all of these sorcerers being around, surely there's no cursed spirit strong enough to defeat them, right? Well, there's one name that shakes all of history and still scares even the strongest of strongest sorcerers, the King of Curses, Sukuna. With the death of Sukuna splitting himself into 20 different fingers and each finger holding 5% of his power, he just needs a vessel, someone to consume all fingers to restore his full power. With over 1,000 years later, a 1 in a million prodigy, Yuji Itadori, a successful vessel for Sukuna, beginning with only one finger, but throughout the storyline slowly obtaining more, but eventually during the Shibuya arc, with the help of the strongest disaster curse, Jogo, obtaining 15 of the 20 fingers, reaching 75% strength, beginning what's called the Shibuya incident, with Sukuna using Malevolent Shrine to destroy majority of Shibuya, scaling to around half the size of San Francisco. This feat alone putting him around city level power, but this is only his domain expansion. Imagine what he can do with his technique and all other abilities. Dismantle and cleave, both Sukuna's techniques being able to cut anything even to the size of the entire earth. But Sukuna's true strength isn't anywhere near tested until the Culling Games arc, with Kenjaku putting every sorcerer to battle against each other, Sukuna taking this as a chance to use a binding vow he made with Itadori, allowing himself to take control for 1 minute as long as he doesn't harm anyone else, using this binding vow to his advantage and ripping Itadori's finger off and feeding it to Megami, not harming anyone else and not breaking any of the binding vow's rules since he only harmed himself. But now that Megami swallowed one of Sukuna's fingers, the vessel has switched. Sukuna, now in control of Megami and sealing his soul away, the King of Curses now not only has his own techniques and domain expansion, but 10 shadows in Megami's domain at the same time. With the perfect timing of Gojo's returning, it's time for the King to release his power. With everyone watching, all of Jujutsu rooting for Satoru Gojo, the fight begins, with at first Gojo teasing Sukuna, seemingly winning the fight with ease, but Sukuna doesn't lose this early, going on to have 5 domain clashes and Gojo hitting 4 black fashes on Sukuna, but Sukuna is still ahead, using 10 shadows to release Maharaga and a fusion he made creating the beast Agito. Gojo still holding his own, eventually Maharaga cutting Gojo's arm off, adapting to Gojo's infinity, the only thing keeping Gojo alive and giving him a chance in this fight, with Gojo realizing that if Sukuna is able to bypass infinity, it's game over, deciding to finally finish this fight, releasing a sudden maximum output Hollow Purple, killing Maharaga and Agito, extremely damaging Sukuna, but due to the exhaustion of repetitive use of RTC, Gojo hitting himself with Hollow Purple as well, leaving both Sukuna and Gojo in a near-death state. But then Sukuna shows why he's simply the King of Curses, going on to literally off-screen Gojo, cutting him in half. Then with Kashimo jumping onto the battlefield, revealing that at any moment during the battle with Gojo, Sukuna could have replenished his strength and health, transforming into his true form, having 4 arms and 2 mouths, the perfect body for battle, going on to fight Kashimo, the strongest sorcerer of his time, using a once activated ability. But it is simply nothing to Sukuna. Sukuna killing Kashimo in only 2 panels, with Sukuna now fully recovered and in his original form he's completely unstoppable. Even against dozens of sorcerers, the king will not lose. Sukuna's power scaling to high mountain level and speeds being around sub-relativistic. But can any of this power compare to the devil of the Chainsaw Man realm, Makima?
Makima, the Control Devil, the enigmatic leader of Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 4. Her true identity is later revealed to be that of the Control Devil, the fear of control and domination embodied who seeks to utilize the Chainsaw Devil's power to create a new world, eradicated of anything she considers a problem and where she could stand equal with others. Devils in Chainsaw Man are representation of concepts. The more feared the concept, the more powerful the devil. Prime example of this was when the gun devil, representing the concept of guns, was immensely strong, but when guns became restricted, he weakened. This is backed up by the existence of devils, literally representing everyday objects, ideas, and etc. Further shown here as there existed devils such as World War II, the Mount Hio eruption, and etc. Being the devil that embodies control and domination, Makima has shown to control any life form that she perceives to be lesser than herself. This control is neither limited to humans, devils, fiends, and animals alike, nor has it shown to possess an upper limit to how many subjects she can put under her control at once. Once a victim is placed under her control, they seemingly subsequently loses their memory, allowing Makima to do whatever she wants with them, from rewriting their personality, altering their senses, or notably placing them under a contract that gives her full control over them, even when they're not under the influence of her powers, which cannot be broken out of unless they want to die. After she takes control, she can also use the abilities of those under her control, both alive and deceased, even if they're contracted from other devils. Being able to keep up and eventually overwhelm a clone version of Chainsaw Man, who was later revealed to a weakened clone of Pochita acting as Denji, in pure hand-to-hand combat, who near his peak was skilled enough battle the both four horsemen and the weapon devils in hell at the same time. As Pochita is able to view the world through Denji after their fusion, he possessed knowledge on the special combat training given to Denji by Kishibe as well. As Denji surmises, Makima doesn't actually need to see, rather discerned people based on their sense and nothing else, and through her sense of smell she's capable of telling apart devil and humans, as well as being to track the former. The capabilities of her other senses are similarly judicious, such as her sight being capable of spotting the gun devil from a distance of 500 kilometers away and even track Pochita's actions when he was shot into space. Likewise, her keen hearing can listen into conversation from vastly long distances through the senses of others, even if they're during the middle of a thunderstorm or taking place in another country entirely. Her contract with the Prime Minister of Japan allows her to any action perceived as an attack against her will be changed into appropriate illnesses and accidents among Japanese citizens, specifically the 1997 Japanese population in universe, which, if assumed to be comparable to real-life figures, would be at least around 126.1 million people. She also shown capable of directly transferring her damage to anyone attached to her chains to regenerate instantaneously. She can bring people inside her own mental space, where she can force them to retain the knowledge of everything there is in the universe, making them lose the capability of thinking about anything other than Halloween until they die. As the devil embodying the fear of control, the more feared she is, the more powerful she becomes. Even a relatively minor boost in fear can immensely boost a devil's overall strength and effects of their abilities. By the end of Part 1, her physical abilities were powerful enough to keep up and eventually overpower a clone of Chainsaw Man with her bare hands, to where she was able to rip off his limbs and punch holes into him, as well as decapitate Guangxi along with two of her fiends with a simple sword slash. Powerful enough to one-shot characters such as Power, even blowing off her limbs while she was in her blood devil form. Capable of harming the Darkness Devil, who is one of the primal fears of humanity, making her more dangerous than even the gun devil itself, and Pochita, who is the devil that other devils fear the most, making her scale far above Gun Devil, who is able to run all around the world causing chaos within 5 minutes. Overall, Makima should scale to small city level with massively hypersonic speeds. So I guess this battle will be between the King of Curses and the Queen of Fear. So the winner is Ryomen Sukuna.